We have to begin in China. I want to talk about what's happening there, what's behind the slowdown. What's your read on what is developing there, and are things picking up as we kick off 24?
Well, China remains a really critical market in automotive. It's the biggest market in the world. It's about 50% bigger than the US vehicle market. And General Motors have enjoyed great success over a long period of time, and Buick in particular has been General Motors' lead brand there. We're still delivering over 500,000 vehicle sales per year there, and it really does remain a critical market for us.
What does the consumer want? Do you see a shift to domestic brands? What are you up against?
Clearly, the situation has changed. Domestic brands have become a lot stronger, but Buick does remain strong there. And increasingly, people are moving towards hybrids, EVs, and increasing technology.
How difficult is it, though, on the price war kind of front, to really compete and also make a profit?
Well, the price sensitivity over there is great. And again, there's about 250 brands on sale in China. There's about 50 here in the US. So you can imagine the competitive situation is very difficult. However, Buick remains very, very strong. We've got the great lineup, the lineup that we sell here in the United States, increasingly introducing EVs and PHEVs as well, hybrid electric vehicles. And again, we feel well placed to compete going forward.
When you talk about here, I am wondering whether that's also been a challenge just because the electric vehicle demand hasn't been as great. There was a recent report in Cox Automotive that Buick inventory levels in particular so far this year have been a lot higher than other types of cars, even within General Motors. Do you think that that's a reflection of the lack of appetite for electric vehicles in the U.S.?
Well, we're not actually selling electric vehicles within the Buick brand in the U.S. yet. What we're doing, we've launched 2 brand new vehicles last year. We're launching 2 brand new vehicles in the first half of this year. By the middle of this year, we'll have what we expect to be the freshest portfolio of any brand in the industry, and the customers are really responding to it. It's a new design language, a new logo, and again, these totally fresh new products. Last year, we were the fastest growing mainstream brand in the industry, up 65%. This year, we've carried on that growth. We're up nearly 15% on a year-to-date basis. So really, people are responding to the new Buick products and design language in great fashion.
When you look at the China strategy, though, and to Lisa's point about this price war, I mean, BYD, once again, over this weekend is cutting prices. If you're going to go after the luxury market, do you need to cut some of the lower-end vehicles you're selling in China?
Well, what we've got in China is, again, a really broad portfolio of vehicles, PHEVs on the way, EVs already in the market, and, of course, the traditional combustion engine vehicles. Where we've been particularly strong and leading the market for Buick is in the people carrier space, so the minivan space. Now, this is a different minivan than we know here in the US. It's a very luxurious vehicle. The Buick GL8 has led that segment and continues to be an absolute leader in that space. And again, there's a lot more to come in product development going forward.
When you look at appetite for these bigger cars, is there more appetite in China for bigger cars? Because I know in the United States, that's why you came out with the Hummer EV, because there is this growing appetite to make sure even if you're going to be electric, you can have an SUV.
Well, our electric strategy here for GMC in the US started with Hummer, first of all, in truck format. Now we've introduced it in SUV format as well. Every month, the sales are better than the last month as our production continues to rise. And it really is an outstanding vehicle. We talk about potential slowdown, but the Hummer EV absolutely is ramping up. It's not slowing down. It is the world's first super truck. It is unique. It does go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It does basically everything you could want it to do. Now, coming on to China, we are about to embark on an export program to China with GMCs as well. More to come on that, but in about the next 12 months or so, we'll be exporting GMCs as part of a global strategy there. We're already now selling in Korea, we're well established in the Middle East for nearly 100 years, and we'll also be going to Australia. So GMC's strength continues to grow and grow. It really is an outstanding brand with outstanding success, and the introduction of EVs is also going to help us begin this export program.
Does it make life difficult when 2 of your biggest markets seem to have different consumer preferences? Is that tough?
Well, clearly, you've got to manage that. I mean, it's always been the case.
How do you manage that? Can I jump in? Because I was speaking to Mary Barrett a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the prospect of GM leaning more into hybrids. And I was trying to work out how easy is it to toggle between pure EVs, ICE hybrids. How quickly can you get a factory line to do that?
Well, the beauty of somewhere like General Motors is we've got technologies on sale across the world. So clearly you leverage those technologies, whether it's the combustion engine, whether it's the EV, or indeed whether it's the hybrid or PHEV as well. So once you've got that technology developed, yeah, it's not super easy to then transfer it into another product, but once the technology is developed, which invariably it is within General Motors, that is something you can do. And that's why we've maintained a position saying we'll always respond to the market. And if the market is increasingly wanting hybrids of any description, then we'll pivot to that, and we're well placed to do so.
Do you see that's where the market is right now currently?
I think it's going to be part of the development. We still maintain that an all-EV future, we still maintain a zero-emission strategy or vision is what we want to achieve, but I think hybrids will be part of that journey to get there.
I'm always interested by the zero-emissions climate push as well. When I hear about the electric, the EV Hummer, I've got to ask you this question. I ask it out loud all the time. How on earth is that good for the environment? I've seen the size of these things. They are massive. How is that good for the environment? Well, how do we understand that?
Well, they're nowhere near as big as you think, first of all. I think I was just saying, I actually bought one. It's not a company car, I bought one. It's the best vehicle ever you could buy. It's really easy to drive around town. Here, like somewhere in Manhattan, it's super easy. Four-wheel steer, make it turning circle the size of a small car.
Creating potholes because it's so heavy?
No. It's got air suspension, so it glides along the potholes of this great city. The roof comes off, making it a convertible vehicle, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It goes really anywhere off-road. It's got something called extract mode. And of course, if you're on the highway, it drives hands-free with Super Cruise technology. So this really is the world's first super truck. It's an outstanding vehicle. And again, zero tailpipe emissions.
OK, but to make the thing?
To make the thing?
Well, that's what I'm getting at here. Zero tailpipe emissions, I understand that. But to make an electric Hummer, an EV, are we saying that's good for the environment?
Well, clearly we're very responsible in the sourcing of materials that go into the batteries that then create the Ultium battery and technologies that go into them. So we're very responsible, not only on the tailpipe, but on the holistic nature of that battery development as well.